Well, this wasn't here. This wasn't here. This apartment wasn't here.
Nice.
And they put this here because I had it against the wall. And again, I went to hide in the freezer, and they did a great job for me. Man, this is my crab eating deck here, man. We eat crabs and stuff right here. And if anything happens to the house again, let's just save this part.
Yeah.
The day that it happened, I was with my girlfriend, was not home, and fortunately her son works for Anne Arundel County Fire Department. And he calls her and says, is Mr. Mike with you? And she said, yes, he's here. He said, well, what's his address? And she gave him my address. She said, I think his house is on fire. So me being a police officer, I was in my police car, and I hit my lights and I was coming home. On the way home, I called one of my next door neighbors and asked him, what's going on? What's it look like? He says, Mike, slow down. Nothing you can do. It's pretty much gone. How did I meet Thomasville? During the fire, again, there was a lot of commotion going on, and he had some of his workers here. So after the fire, they were boarding the house up. What was left of the windows and whatever had to be boarded up. Then I received a phone call the same day from my ex-sheriff who knows Thomasville, and as a recommendation, he's saying, I don't know who Thomasville is yet, Tom. He said he's a good guy, and talk to him, and when you make a decision, think about him. And I had 10 people give me cards and stuff about who's going to do the work. At the same time, your house is burning, So he came over, and him and I talked, and he seemed very professional. He gave me what he could and could not do for me, and after our conversation, I felt comfortable with him, and decided to go with him. And again, that was a very good move. The good thing for Tom's company is that Tom is, I think he was very flexible. And when you do stuff like this, you have to be flexible. Because there were some times when I wasn't happy when I came here. I was kind of teed off things that happened. But usually when I was teed off like that, it was something that it was on me. Something that couldn't happen, that wasn't going to happen, and I just didn't understand it. I had a book because I had so many names coming at me. I couldn't keep up with who's who. So I had Allstate with some names in it and what they did. And when I talked to Eric one-on-one, I put a star beside his name because he says, anything you have problem with, any questions you have, give me a call. And after I called him the first time, he was like my fallback guy. Either he knew the answer or he would lead me to someone who did know the answer. A couple situations, again, Tom was great, but like any other businesses, you're gonna bump heads every once in a while. A couple things that wasn't the way I wanted it, and a couple things that Tom didn't want. So I made a phone call. What can I do? Does this seem reasonable? And Eric was very straightforward. He said, Mike, that's not reasonable. And I dropped it. He said, well, let me call Tom and see if Tom can do this. And then Tom would take care of it. So he was a good person to be a middle guy. Again, Tom's not paying me for this, so I don't expect him to write me a check for saying nice things. I can't express enough how smooth this project went. I've heard so many horror stories when people lost their homes, and what they did with how the insurance company treated them badly, how the builders treated them badly. So, no, just like I said, I would have no problem at all in recommending him to anyone in my family. And I'm real picky when it comes to people like professional contractors, and kind of leery of them sometimes. But here, I would recommend him to anyone that walks up to me. You know, we can leave with anyone too. I think that is awesome.